in the series of video classes for CSE and IT students, we are seeing principles of management. In that, unit 2 planning, we are handling. So we will continue. In yesterday's, previous video, we have seen strategy in management and decision making. Hope you have understood. Hope you have answered the questions and discussed in the class. Now let us continue and see about the policies in management. So policies, we are going to see under two topics, types and steps in formulation. So now let us try and understand first what is policy. So what is policy? Policy is the framework under which decision making is carried out. So as managers, one is expected to take decision at various levels, top, middle, bottom. So what are the guidelines? How he has to take the decision? What factors he has to consider when taking the decision? That is your policy. So every company, every organization, even your college, everything has policy of its own, under which the guidelines under which the employees work in the organization. So you got it? What is policy? Now let us see the types of policies. There are 6 types of policy: top management policy, middle management policy, department policy, written and verbal policy, implied policy, functional policy, policy manual. Now let us see what is top management policy. So top management policy is the policy under which executive levels in an organization, CEO, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Operating Officer, they take decisions. So the company, I am the CEO of company, I decide on what regions to expand my company. For example, I want to expand my company overseas. So I formulate a policy. That is top management policy. So I decide which product line I have to choose for manufacturing for the coming financial year. So that is top management policy. Okay. So middle management policy. Middle management policy is which affects the organization as a whole. So, for example, there is a policy framework under which we decide whether we have to provide transportation for our employees. How to provide? In what are regions we have to provide transport? How many buses we have to operate? So that is department policy, middle management policy. Now let us see department policy. Department policy is operational in nature, individual departments. So I have to, I head a department in a college. So what I should do? I have my own department policy of allocating not the same subjects to, suppose I allocate a subject A, subject B is also in the same class. So I should not allocate 2 subjects to a staff of the same class. Suppose if I go to CSE section A and take principles of management, I should not take another subject, operating system, of the same class. So that is my department policy. So that is called department policy. Written and verbal policy. So policy usually it is well defined and written. Certain policies are told by concerned heads of the departments, heads of the institution concerned. So that is, which is not written, it is told orally, that is written and verbal policy. Implied policy. So up to this the policy is explicit. Everybody knows how to operate. In certain conditions, certain things you need not tell. For example, I have to wear formals for my organization. I cannot wear a dhoti and come to my college. So that is implied policy. I have to be well behaved with the female members of the organization. I should not harass them. That is an implied policy. So that which is not explicitly told is implied policy. Functional policy. Functions means HR, finance, marketing. So all the departments will have their own policy. That is called functional policy. So all these policies are put together in a form of a book. That is called policy manual. You have understood what are the different types of policy? Now we will go to steps in formulation. How I actually bring about the policy. How do I formulate it? Right? So first step. First thing is one. Steps in policy formulation. One, establish need for policy. So what is the need for policy? Policy provides the guidelines under which the employees should work. So an employee should know what are the guidelines I need to follow in this company so that they work. So that will be need for policy. Two, develop policy content. So what are the constituents of the policy? Whom are involved in the who this refers to? This policy pertains to who are getting affected, who will be monitoring it, who will be evaluating it. So that is policy content. Draft the policy. So there is a team of members in an organization to sit and formulate the policy, evolve a draft. That is draft policy. Write the procedure. Actual implementation of the policy, how they are going to do it, that they will write the procedure. Then review by key parties. So once the policy is formulated, it has to be reviewed, it has to be sent to concerned stakeholders. So stakeholders means customers who are invested in shares. They are the stakeholders. CEO, various top level managers. So they have to actually evaluate and review the policy. And the top level management, owner of the concern, will approve it. So then the policy will start implemented. It will be executed. Then review and update. Review and update means I have implemented the policy. So once I implement the policy, I will have various issues with it. Suppose I have a policy, I will have some resistance. I will have some obstacles by reviewing it, implementing it. So that is review and update. The last one is communication of changes. So there is COVID-19 situation now. Earlier, my company had the policy to I have a hotel. So in that customers come and dining. I had dining. Now, due to COVID, I have changed my policy. I am not allowing dining. I am only delivering it with standard protocols. So that is changes in my policy. I communicate. So these are the types and steps in policy formulation. So now let us think about it again, and we will go to premises. We have seen briefly what is a premise for decision making. Let us see in detail what is a premise. Now let us continue with types of planning premises. So we have seen already planning premises. So kindly recall what is the planning premise. Go through the previous video again. And now let us continue with the types of planning premises. Okay. So planning premise, internal and external premise. Controllable, semi-controllable, tangible, intangible, constant, variable. So these are all the premises. So now let us see one by one. Internal and external premises. So internal premise means sales forecast, internal policy, capital investment. So these are all the internal premises. So sales forecast means what is the projected sales we are going to do for the financial year. So how much product I am going to planning to sell. So internal policy. So employee attendance, what is the policy? Employee dress code, what is my policy? That is the internal policy. I am giving just an example. Capital investment. So how much amount of money I am going to invest. That is the capital investment. These are the internal policy. External policy. So outside the company, political forces, social, technological, cultural, economic forces. So there is a change in technology. For example, it has come from, I am manufacturing mobile, it has come from 4G to 5G. Then I have to equip my company, my manufacturing equipments to manufacture 5G, to suit for 5G. So that is my technological forces, premises, social, economical, cultural. So that is it. So this is internal and external premise. Controllable. Controllable means that which I can control, which is in my hands. Means man, staff I have employed. So completely it is in my purview. How much staff I should have to employ, how I have to get work done from them. Money, how much amount of money I invest is in my hands. Machinery, equipment I buy, how I maintain them. So that is money, machine is controlled. These are all in my hands. It is controllable. Now semi-controllable means labor relation, marketing strategy. These are all semi-controllable premises. Means to some extent I have control. Labor I have control, but labor relations I do not have control. Between the labor relations, labor and the management, that I don't have control. I have only partial control. How labor suddenly they end up doing a strike. So that is semi-controllable. I can control fully. Marketing strategy depends upon competitors, depends upon the market condition, depends upon the customers, customer satisfaction. So these are all semi-controllable. Tangible means what? Which can be measured. These are tangible. So money can be measured, quantified. Time, I can measure time 1 hour, 2 hours. So that is tangible. Intangible, employee moral. How much motivated an employee is there to work for my organization? That is employee moral, attitude of the employee. I cannot judge his attitude to fully and then employ. When he comes inside, in interview he may show good attitude. When he comes inside, he may change his attitude. Day to day he may undergo change due to his personal reason. So attitude is intangible. I cannot measure it. I cannot say he has so many meters of attitude. No. So that is intangible premises. Constant. Men, money, material is constant. Always I will have this amount of men with me, money with me, material with me. I will know beforehand that I am having this much amount of thing with me. That is constant. Variable means union management relation is variable. So union management relation means union, trade unions. So we have trade unions, management and labor, they sit and talk together and sort out the issues between them. So that is variable. Sometimes labor may end up in strike. They may ask a bonus. They may demand bonus. So employee may deprive the labor of certain facility, or they may provide additional facility like canteen. So that is variable. So these are the premises under which we do the planning. These are the planning premises. Now we have come to the end of the unit. So now let us try and recall what we have studied in this unit. So you recall the concepts which we have taken in this video and previous. This is the final video. With this we come to end of unit 2, planning. So as I told you, you recall, you ask questions in the class, or you can post questions in my channel, and if you have any suggestions to improve the video, you can definitely share it with me. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share with your friends. See to it that you completely see the video and vote for the class. So we will see in the next video, unit 3. Thank you so much.